Hello and welcome. I am so excited because I got a new toy called a doc cam, and it has given me the ability to show you a dissection kind of live. So I'm going to start by going through how I would do the normal heart dissection, and I just want you to listen and pay attention, and then I'll focus on some still images after the fact. So let's get this set so you can listen to me and still see what's going on. So this is a sheep heart, and sheep hearts are used in dissection because they're about the same size as our heart and they're easy to come by. So if you take your fist, that's about the size of your heart. So looking at this heart, when we dissect, the very first thing we need to do is orient ourselves so you know what it is you're looking at. So with this one doesn't have any plugs in it. You see a lot of fat around the heart. That's perfectly normal. There is a lot of fat around them. But what I do is try to locate the atria. So they kind of look like an elephant ear, like the pastry elephant ear. There's one, and there's another. So I know I want to cut through in that plane. So I'm cutting it in half so I can have an anterior portion and a posterior portion. So I've done that here, and I'm going to open it up like this. And before I thoroughly open it, I want to show you these vessels. So this, I gotta find a poker. This vessel originated right up here, and it's going to go down into here. And so this is going to be the aorta. So I'm going to cut it, but I just wanted you to see it kind of together first. So there's the aorta. So the aorta is really, really a thick-walled vessel because it's the largest artery in our body, and it's under a lot of stress. I told you earlier that I was going to show you the tricuspid valves. I mean, not the tricuspid, but the semilunar valves. Here they are, forming these pockets. So if you can see that, that's one. And the other one I can't lift right here. That's the other one. And so then the third pocket would be on the other side. So that's going to be right here. So it's difficult to orient at first when the heart is opened this way. I'm going to show you one that I've already opened so I can explain some of the features. So if the heart was closed like this, and then we cut it open and put it in the tray, the normal pictures that you see of the heart are from this angle, because the right ventricle is right here, and the left ventricle is over here with the thick wall. One of the problems we have is that when we're dissecting, we end up with mirror images. And so you can't automatically say this side is right and this side is left, because in this case, this is the left side, and you can tell by the thickness of the wall, and this is the right side, and you can tell that right side is much thinner. So again, the reason it's much thinner is because this right side only has to pump to the lungs, whereas the left side has to be very, very forceful and pump all the way to your toes and back. So let's start the same way that I started with you when we were going through the diagrams of the heart yesterday. So blood is going to enter the heart through the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava, and it's going to dump into the atria. So this is the atrium right here, and this would be the superior vena cava dumping in. So then we're going to go past this valve. This valve is on the right side, so it's the tricuspid, and there's a cusp. And then when that heart contracts, it's going to push up blood that is going to go through from the right ventricle and go through to the lungs. So this right ventricle contracts and blood's going to go up through this vessel. So that vessel has to be the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery, arteries away. So this would be the trunk, and then we'd have branching coming off and going to the lungs. Then blood's going to come back, and it's going to enter the left atrium. So you can see the pulse right here. This is the right pulmonary vein. Coming back. So that would be vein. And this is the left one. So they're going to come in, and they're both dumping in here. So pulmonary veins. And then that's going to go past this cusp valve. This is on the left side. So that's the mitral or bicuspid valve. And then it's going to go into the left ventricle. So here is the left ventricle. And here you can see those valves a little bit better. And this is a gorgeous papillary muscle right here. It's attached to these cords. Remember, that's called chordae tendineae. And so when this ventricle contracts, blood is going to leave the ventricle, and it's going right here. So that is through the aorta, and then it would return from the heart to the heart. So that is the blood flow through it. So let's take a look at a fresh one, and I'll look at those without those pokers in the way. So I'm going to cut through the aorta, and I'll cut through this vessel too. We'll get two halves. All right. So just to quiz yourself, thin and really thin right here. So this side right here would be the right side, the right. So there's the right side. So we come in through the atria. If you're wondering what the pink stuff is, it's dye. It's supposed to dye the arteries. So that's why there's pink stuff in there. So there's the right atria. Here's the tricuspid valve. I don't know if you can see it. Is that better? Okay, I need to have 6 hands. Or at least 3 would be nice. So right there is the valve. And then blood's going to go into the right ventricle. The right ventricle contracts, and blood's going to go up and leave the heart. So I'm just going to look in here, see if I can force my way through, because that would be the pulmonary artery. And I can see it, I just can't get it through there. I'll go the other way. Pulmonary artery, open up for me. You're on this back side. There we go. It's not going through. Well, believe me, that is going through to the pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery away to the lungs, coming back into the left side. There's the left atria. Then past this mitral or bicuspid valve, down into the left ventricle. Left ventricle contracts, and blood's going to go up through the aorta. All right. So I'll take some still pictures of these with some labeling, and we'll go from there. So excited.